Hello. I want to take a minute to go over some functionality that's been in Vicinity for a while that might help you with some current issues going on with a lot of our clients right now. As you're well aware, the political and economic conditions in the U.S. are forcing some raw material prices to be going up. Specifically, Donald Trump's administration is imposing tariffs across the board in a lot of countries. Canada, Mexico, China are three. There will certainly sounds like there will be others. Now, the challenge that exists for small businesses is being able to address that and manage that. Just like regular normal economic times where you might have some inflation, being able to come in and getting ahead of those inflationary changes could be very helpful in either increasing prices, substituting raw materials, or reworking formulas. You may have some other options as well. So the tool we're about to talk about really helps you get ahead of that and before it actually before you're doing the work on actual batches where you receive the raw material at a higher value and now have to try to figure out how to protect your margins. As I see it, there are 4 different steps that need to be taken. One is to identify the raw materials that are impacted. The second would be identifying the cost change that's going to happen to those affected items. The third would be using those new costs, run a cost roll-up, to identify what the new anticipated production cost would be, the cost of goods sold for those items might end up being. And then finally, a review of your current pricing compared to the old pricing, or your current pricing compared to the new tariff-based pricing, and see where you're going to have the biggest financial impact on your margin and your cost of goods sold. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to drop into each of those 4 sections. The first one is identifying the raw materials. Some of our clients already know kind of these group of items are sourced from this country and these are from this country, etc. And it's really straightforward, say by part number. Others, it's not quite so easy. You may not buy directly from the manufacturer, let's say in Canada, but you might actually buy from a domestic, a U.S.-based wholesaler. In that case, it's not as easy to tell which country it's coming from, but that would be working with that wholesaler to help you identify which ones are going to be impacted by various tariffs. Once you can identify that it's happening, that this item is subject to these tariffs, the next question will be, where do you want to tell Vicinity that that's happening, that this item has that characteristic to it, that say it's supplied from Canada and will be subject to Canadian tariffs. I can think of a couple of different ways you could do this. One would be through attributes. I actually created an attribute called Tariff. I wasn't particularly creative when I did that, and so I've got a section down here called Tariff, and I've added one for Canada, one for China, and one for Mexico. At the most simplistic level, you could just simply come in and list and mark it and say, yep, it's Canada. You could, if you want, actually put the tariff value here and use it later in our analysis, or you can just flag it as this is an item that is subject to the tariff. So let me go ahead and pick up a raw material. Let's add a couple of them just so that we can kind of see how that works. Here's that particular item. Let's go ahead and save this item, and then we'll do the same thing, say for a couple of other products. We'll pick up DCRMO3 as an example. And I'll come down and pick up our tariff, and we'll take that into China will be fine. And get into save. There we go. Save, and then we'll do one final one, say DCRMO4 as an example. Pull that in, and we'll pick that one up to Mexico. That looks great. So from here, good. Now, so I've got basically 3 items that have been marked, one for each country, but you would go through your entire list. So that is a way to do it. You could manage your items this way through an attribute. Just while we're here, another way that you might want to do it is to mark it with a country, specifically just for future use. So it wouldn't necessarily be tariff, it could just simply be the country. And you could use that for country of origin disclosure and some other things like that. So now moving on. So we've identified the items one way or another. There are a couple of ways you can see that. If you use attributes, then you could simply go in and say, show me all all items, all components that have the attribute of Mexico as an example, and I'll just come in and put in that one. We end up, I'm only looking at the first couple of records, so let me open up my database here. And so now I've got one item, I will have one item, that is marked with an attribute ID of Mexico, as an example. And here's Canada. So the idea is that once you've gone through your raw materials, you now have a list of Canada-based, Mexico-based, China-based, what other countries are going to hit it next. And you could actually take this information and push it out to Excel. Rather easy to do. You just kind of pick it up and push it, and there's that item. What you might want to do is to grab some type of a cost information from there. At least now I have a list of the items that are my issued items. From here, I could say, let's say I pushed out the dynamics cost as an example, and let's say that it was $1.80 per stocking unit of measure. Now your proposed cost could maybe, this times 1.2 as an example, times 1.2, and there's your tariff amount. That's great. You can go through these items, just drop it in as your proposed. So if I had all my dynamics costs here, just copy that down. Now I've got all my proposed costs in Excel. Now let's go to the second piece. So the first piece was identify the raw materials. We did that. The second piece is add the proposed cost. This is one place in which you can do it. You can do it in Excel. You can push these items out to Excel, drop in the new cost, and then you'll read it back in. And then the third way to do it really is to just go directly into the proposed cost schedule. So let's talk about that. So now we're actually telling Vicinity what the new cost will be based on this proposed cost schedule ID. You can have as many cost IDs as you want. We'll just pick on Mexico for a second. So we've got these items that are subjected to my tariff. Now, they got in here one of a couple of ways. I actually used my ranges because my life was simple. I basically said this range of raw materials actually is subjected to the tariff. And when I did that, I said, all right, give me 1.2 times the dynamics cost, and it will give me a new cost associated with that production. So the whole idea behind this is I can now come up with a proposed cost that I could actually come into this screen and override it if I need to. If I knew something different, like there's a tariff plus there's something else associated with it, I can come in and change that here on the proposed cost. This will be the cost that the cost roll-up will use if it is listed on this schedule. So I can do the same thing for Mexico, same thing for China, same thing for Canada, etc. And I can have as many proposed cost IDs as I want to. So a way, do it in Excel and read it in. There's your import. Or I can simply come in and key those values. Either way that I've got. So we've identified the raw materials. We've identified the proposed cost into a proposed cost schedule. And now the final thing we want to do is actually run the component cost rollup, which is under product development component cost rollup. And I'm just going to be looking at my finished goods. That's fine. I can do that. And I'm just going to look at certain items. Let's say we want to go. Actually, I think I've already got one saved. So if I got to save, yep, that saves me a little time. So I've got a range of whatever. I'm doing my finished goods in a particular facility. The key is right here that I'm using the Mexico tariff proposed cost schedule. And I don't really want to look that up in detail. I can if I want to analyze it initially, but eventually I just want to see one line per finished good. So I'm able to get a summarized view of my proposed costs. So I've got one line per finished good. This is my existing dynamics costs, and then this is my new proposed cost using the tariffs of raw materials that are subject to those tariffs. And that's really all I had to do to get those new costs. So the third thing was run the cost roll-up. I would probably suggest that you go ahead and save the roll-up so that we have it electronic, so I can now go and look at the results of these rather easily. And a couple of ways I can do that. The one I would suggest is you go back to Vicinity View. If you go under Components and go under Proposed Costs, here's your roll-up outputs. And here are those Mexico tariffs. Just go ahead and filter that a little bit. There's your Mexico tariffs. It's the exact same data we just looked at. So here is the dynamics cost, and here is your new rolled up cost that we got from the cost roll-up. I might want to take this query and add maybe a volume and maybe a selling price out of Dynamics so that I can then push this out to Excel and do further analysis. From within Excel, I could take these values and just simply say, I'm wanting to go and look at the price difference between this and this. And let's say that I want to take that price difference and divide by, just get a percentage change, which should be, well, it's a blended, so it may not be the actual price that's just the price, the tariff of 20%. So in this case, it's going up by roughly 2%, something like that. And you can continue this process for all your items. And now I'm getting a price increase that I need to be going and looking at. This one, for example, is pretty significant that I probably need to go find. The reason some of the others aren't as drastic is that the raw materials that were subject to tariff might be only used in a minor way in your formula. It doesn't make a lot of your volume or weight. But whereas others may make a significant percentage of the formula. Now, I probably would also want to weight this by some kind of volume. So output for the year or something like that of those finished goods. Now I've got a dollar impact on my P&L hitting directly to cost of goods sold. So that's how I would probably choose to analyze that. The hardest part of all this is identifying which items are subject to the tariff and then agreeing to what tariff value you want to place. The good news is once you create this framework, you're going to be able to do it for any other country and make any other changes that you need to as we move forward through these times. We've got a framework here for you to work with. We're happy to help. We're certainly getting calls from clients being asked to help them do this. So if that's a project you'd like us to help you with, we'd be happy to help you. Alternatively, you've got all the tools you need to do it. Just reach out if you get stuck with anything, and we're happy to help you out through this difficult price-changing time. Anyway, have a great day, and let us know what we can do to help you out.